So why is site speed so important for SEO? Well, if you're trying to rank your website organically at the top of Google, then you really need to have it be performing at its peak, ultimately, right? And there's research that Google has done. This is from Think with Google, where they found that 53% of visitors are abandoned. 53% of visits are abandoned if a mobile site takes longer than 3 seconds to load. And you can see their data here. If it takes more than whatever time, blah, 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 blah. Basically what that means is if somebody does a search on mobile, which is the majority of searches these days, they have some other data down here about how many people use mobile for everything, right? But so I think something like 60% of people use mobile devices to conduct searches on Google nowadays. And a good portion, more than half of those, will only sit there and wait for your site to load for about 3 seconds. If it takes longer than 3 seconds, more than half of them are just going to hit the back button and go visit another website. They basically think your website is broken because people have short attention spans and want to get their information now. And if it's taking 5 seconds for your website to load, people aren't just going to sit around waiting because they don't know that they could sit around for 2 minutes and it may never load, right? And they don't want to waste their time. So they're just going to hit the back button, go visit some other websites. So page speed is vital for user experience, right? Because if everybody that goes to your website just immediately hits the back button and they leave and go visit a different website, that's telling Google that people are not having a good experience with your website, and therefore it does not want to show you up at the very top of the search results. So you really need your page speed to be such that you're capturing a majority of these people, getting them through to your website to where they're then clicking on different pages, interacting with your website. Google is going to pick up all that data and figure out what people are doing on your website. And if they're having a good experience, sticking around for a long time, consuming a lot of the quality content on your website, then Google's going to like that and it's going to favor you in the search results. It's going to want to push your website up to the top of the search results. Now, obviously, page load speed is not an end-all be-all, right? There are plenty of sites that load at the very top of Google that are really slow. But they're not that slow. I mean, they might load in like 5-6 seconds, but you're not going to have a lot of pages that rank at the very top of Google that take 20 seconds to load, right? But how do you test and see, okay, like let's say we have a website, but we want to see how quickly is it even loading? Well, Google provides another tool for this, Page Speed Insights, where you can come put your website into the search feature here, click Analyze, and that is going to give you an analysis of the load speed of your site. And we can see the first contentful paint and largest contentful paint are almost under 3 seconds. I think that's why it's not giving us the full score here. Everything else looks great, but it's just barely over 3 seconds, and I guess it's just not happy with that. But you can see, like, almost immediately the whole first part of the homepage is loaded to where people can just see what's going on almost instantly. And we're not going to go into all the details. I'm going to make more videos going into all the details about how each of these things work specifically, but there are breakdowns that you can go into to figure out what in the world is going on. Like if you have a score of 18 or 25, that's pretty common for a website that's not really optimized for speed. It's going to show you a whole bunch of things that are like, you got to fix this, you got to fix that, you got to fix this other thing. It'll usually lay out the errors for you more or less so that you know what needs to be done in order to improve the load speed of your site. It might be large images, it might be JavaScript that's not being deferred. There could be a whole slew of things causing the site to load slowly. And there are ways that you can just go in and fix those things so that your site is loading appropriately, which is good. And you can see here it is defaulting to mobile. So it's allowing us to see the page load speed on desktop. Desktop computers usually have better hardware so they can load more faster, which is allowing the site to load in like under a second, more or less here. Here's some of those errors I was telling you about. So it's actually preferring that we look at mobile first. Google has changed its index to mobile first. Essentially everything is heading to mobile increasingly as time goes on, as phones get better and, you know, more sophisticated tablets get better, wearables come out like watches. So there's some real benefit to improving this page load speed, not just to make Google happy, right? But to capture these people. So because this site is loading within like 3 seconds, the odds of us losing a lot of our mobile traffic due to page load speed issues is really low. And it's also a good chance that if our website is ranking for a term and there's another website ranking for the term, we have similar authority, but one of us has better page load speed, and therefore a better user experience, we're probably going to win out, right? So I hope that is helpful in terms of understanding why page load speed is so important for SEO. It's kind of a indirect correlation, but if there's anything you did have questions about, don't hesitate to reach out. You can just drop your questions in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get back to you there. If you're like most new business owners, you're probably struggling to get your online presence established, let alone get it to the point where it's bringing you a consistent flow of customers, right? So that's why I created this free course where I actually walk you step by step through the whole process of setting up your online presence. This is the same process we've been using for our clients for over a decade in one of my agencies. And essentially, I'm going to show you how to set up an SEO-friendly business name right from the get-go, how to develop your website really quickly and easily, how to set up your Google Maps listing, start getting some Google reviews, everything you need in order to have a substantial online presence where people can actually start finding you and purchasing your products or services. The best part is I'm going to show you how to do it in under a couple of hours and all for less than $50. If you're interested, I'll leave a link below where you can get signed up today. Make sure to check this course out for free right now because I'm probably going to start charging for this at some point in the future. All right, I'll see you on the other side.